Let's get one thing straight. We're not here to talk about internet drama. We're here to deconstruct narrative architecture. We're talking about market opportunity. You see, in the creator economy, a very specific type of storytelling is quietly but absolutely crushing everything else. So today we're putting the retribution narrative under the microscope to understand the engine that makes it so incredibly powerful.
And when I say powerful, I mean it. The growth is just staggering. We are looking at a 21 times year-over-year increase in viewership for a certain kind of faceless storytelling. Now, this isn't just some passing trend, it's an explosion, and it signals a massive underserved appetite in the market for a very, very particular kind of story.
And this chart reveals a massive opportunity, a huge gap in the market. You can see audience demand for these kinds of narratives is skyrocketing, right? But the creator competition, it's basically flat. And the reason for that is pretty simple. Most creators are busy chasing the surface-level drama, not the underlying narrative structure. This creates a massive market arbitrage for anyone who actually understands how to build the engine.
And here is the absolute key to understanding this whole thing. The appeal isn't just about a simple revenge plot. No, it's about the restoration of moral equilibrium in a world that, let's face it, often feels completely unbalanced. This taps into a really deep psychological need for justice. And by analyzing these stories as case studies, we can identify the machine driving it all, what we're calling the catharsis engine.
So let's roll up our sleeves and get mechanical. In this first section, we're going to break down the psychological framework that powers these viral stories. And I want to be clear, this isn't random. It is an engineered journey, designed from the ground up for maximum audience satisfaction and, just as importantly, maximum algorithmic reward.
So let's define our terms. The catharsis engine isn't just a lucky sequence of events that happens to make a good story. No way. It's an engineered, repeatable system. Think of it like a formula that, when you execute it correctly, almost guarantees high engagement because it's built around that core psychological payoff that audiences are absolutely craving. The engine has three core phases, and they build on each other perfectly. It all kicks off with the social violation, where a clear injustice is established. Then it moves into the strategic silence, a phase that masterfully builds tension and audience respect. And finally, it all culminates in the moral payoff, delivering that deeply satisfying conclusion. Each step is designed to pull you, the viewer, deeper and deeper in. So let's look at phase one. For this engine to even start, you need a crystal clear moral imbalance. We're talking about a boss stealing credit for your project or a landlord illegally keeping your security deposit. It has to be a relatable breach of trust. The audience has to feel the unearned suffering of the underdog, which makes that character their stand-in, their surrogate in the story.
Now this is the secret to that 21x growth. Phase 2, the strategic silence, is where these stories really elevate themselves. Your protagonist doesn't just have an emotional outburst. No, instead, they use logic, they use legal loopholes, or my personal favorite, malicious compliance, to completely turn the tables. This strategic approach, it builds immense tension, and even more importantly, it builds the audience's respect for the protagonist's intelligence.
Okay, so we've got the theory down, we understand the engine. Now, how do you actually build this thing? In section 2, we're going to shift from the what to the how. We're looking at the specific tools and the production mindset you need to execute this strategy effectively and at scale, all without ever showing your face on camera.
The real key here is to adopt what we call the visual assembler mindset. You're not a traditional animator who's spending weeks, maybe months on a single video. No, you are synthesizing a narrative. You're using high-fidelity AI for the voice, and you're pairing it with powerful AI-generated conceptual visuals. It's all about efficiency, but without ever sacrificing that premium quality feel.
And boom, that's how you grab them. The hook. You have about 12 seconds to establish the stakes. Just listen to that example. It starts right in the heat of the conflict. It immediately tells you there's a massive power imbalance and an impending strategic reversal of fortune. The audience is instantly locked in. They have to know what happens next.
The delivery is just as crucial as the story itself. The ideal voice, which is often a high-fidelity AI model, has this matter-of-fact, almost noir detective kind of tone. You are not an energetic, screaming YouTuber. You are a calm, objective witness recounting the facts of the case. This builds incredible authority and keeps the focus exactly where it needs to be, on the strategic elements of the story.
Okay, but what about what we're seeing on screen? Well, the top channels in this niche are moving way past simple text on a black background. They use what we call conceptual stillness. I want you to think of it like a high-end graphic novel. Moody, high-contrast, AI-generated still images with consistent characters. This creates a really high-production feel, and it ensures the visuals support, but never distract from, the all-important narration.
And the data absolutely backs this up, this graphic novel aesthetic, this conceptual stillness. It is incredibly effective at holding people's attention. Channels that use this strategy are seeing average view durations of over 70%. I mean, that's a massive flashing green light to the algorithm that viewers are deeply, deeply engaged with what you're making. All right, let's talk about the bottom line. Let's talk money. In our final section, we're digging into the business logic. Why is this niche not just popular, but a potential gold mine? Well, it all comes down to a really powerful financial arbitrage opportunity.
This slide says it all, doesn't it? While a super saturated niche like gaming might earn maybe $2 per thousand views, an RPM of 2, this specific form of storytelling commands RPMs between $14 and $22. That's not just a little better, it's a monumental difference in monetization potential, and it is not by accident.
So why? Why are the RPMs so astronomically high? It's because of the audience you attract. These stories about corporate betrayal and clever strategy, they appeal to a mature, often high-income demographic. These aren't kids watching. These are adults who are interested in complex topics like legal rights, career strategy, and justice. And that kind of audience, they're incredibly valuable.
And that connects directly to the advertisers. The people watching these videos are the exact demographic that premium advertisers in sectors like insurance, legal services, and financial tech are desperate to reach. They are more than willing to pay a significant premium to place their ads in front of this focused, high-intent audience.
But look, ultimately, this strategy is about more than just raking in views. By consistently deconstructing these complex human scenarios, you move from just capturing attention to building real, actual authority. Your channel becomes a case study in human psychology and strategy, a sort of digital theater of behavior that provides immense value beyond just entertainment.
The competition is low because they only see the drama on the surface. But now, you see the architecture underneath. You see the engine. The stories are out there, the audience is waiting, and the financial incentive is crystal clear. So the only real question left is, are you ready to build the engine?